I am so excited. The doors are now open to awaken the abundant you. Imagine stepping into that life where you know money is there for you, showing up for your desires, those big dreams that you have been manifesting and you want to create, and you know that it's already happened. You know that it's there. You know there's an overflow of abundance. You know that you are waking up, living your best life, and you are so excited to make this happen. Well, that can be happening for you. It's time to awaken the abundant you. This version is already inside of you, dying to get out and dying to run the show. And it's time to let her. Let's stop living in lack and waiting for our desires to show up. Let's make it happen by stepping into the most abundant version of you. And what I want to do is offer you the chance to make this happen. Come and join my 12-week sacred container where we are going to be awakening this wealthy version of you, awakening all this abundance and showing you how easy it is to tap in and bring it into your energy every single day. Imagine waking up in the morning knowing that the money has just showed up. Imagine having a life where it's not so hard to make money. This could be for you. Go to the link in the show notes and sign up today. Let's awaken the abundant woman inside of you. This is your time and you are ready for it. Welcome to the Soulful Badass podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Jackson, an intuitive success coach from the UK, and I'm here to help entrepreneurs, leaders, and soul-aligned goddesses to create epic levels of success and impact in your life and your business. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you are tuning in every week for mindset talk, manifestation, magic, and incredible interviews with other soul-aligned entrepreneurs. So hit the subscribe button, and I'd love to invite you to come and join the Soulful Badass community. All the links are in the show notes. Please go and click them, and I'll see you in there. Hi everyone. This week on the podcast, I have something special for you. I have recorded a 5-day abundance challenge, and this is all about elevating your money story. So if you are ready to take your finances to the next level and actually feel worthy of everything you desire, then make sure you tune into every day and clear those money beliefs for good so that you can actually awaken your most abundant timeline. This is a special 5-day challenge that I am doing to launch my Awaken the Abundant You Elevated program. So if you do want to dive in deeper to any of the topics we cover this week, make sure you sign up for that program and get the early bird pricing before the 7th of March. See you in there. Enjoy this week. Welcome to the 5-day money challenge. This is a money challenge to elevate your money story for good. Now, we're going to be diving into a different topic each day, and it's just going to be a mini video for you to follow along. So make sure you go over all the videos and really fine tune what it is that you need to dive into. Some might trigger you more, some might be more exciting for you, but go through them all and see which resonate for you, because each one builds on each other. So today we're going to get started with what has made you feel like you are not meant to be abundant. There are so many reasons why we feel like we shouldn't have abundance, but actually abundance is our birthright. It was meant for us. So why do we not have lots and lots of money? Obviously we want lots, but sometimes we don't feel like we're worthy enough, or we don't feel like we're good enough. And this can come from lots of different baggage that we get from growing up and our childhood and lots of different places. So when you start to think about your money story, and that's exactly what it is, there'll have been stories told about money from when you were young. There'll have been stories told about money from when you were even in the womb, like when you were born. You'll have been hearing subconsciously so many things about money, and that has created what you think and what you feel about it without even realizing. So you could be playing out someone else's money story and holding yourself back, and it's maybe not even yours to play out. So when we are growing up, we learn about money from our parents, we learn about money from our grandparents, we learn about money from TV, school teachers, and all these different things like hold a place in our energy imprint. So things could have happened to you while you were growing up. You could have maybe had a hard childhood. You could have maybe had different things that have been said to you. You maybe had to wait for money to come in. You maybe had to wait to have the things that you wanted for school. You might have heard that money's hard to come by, those rich people that aren't very nice with money. There'll be so many stories that go around your family, but you've got to figure out what are yours. What was it that your family thought about money? What was the things that happened to you with money? I come from a large family. There was 4 of us. Then my mum come from a family of 6. And that left a mark, as in we felt like there wasn't always enough, or there wasn't always enough when we wanted it. So for instance, my mum was brilliant. Like, she worked hard, she did the best she could, she'd give us everything she could. It wasn't like we struggled, but it was, we get to the end of the school year and it would be like, oh, we want to pick out the next school bag, we want to pick out the next shoes we're going to be wearing next year, all this stuff. And all my friends would be going out excitedly buying what they were getting, and they'd just be buying it without thinking, whereas my mum would be saying, oh, just wait until the end of the holidays. By this point, that was always when everybody had everything I already wanted, and I either had to copy them, or, you know, I had to buy something different, which was something that I didn't really want. Now, that isn't a big story, but that actually made me feel like money wasn't available when I wanted it, or the thing I wanted wasn't for me. It was something that was unattainable, or it was something that everybody else would have. So I then had to look like I was copying. And this then made it like so many money stories, so many money beliefs going on in my mind. 1, that I wasn't allowed what I wanted. 2, that I had to wait for the things that I desired. And all these things that you don't even realize play out. Now, that is nonsense. You know, that's just a thing that my mum had, where she was like, no, let's wait. Because to my mum, her most important thing was making sure that we had an amazing holiday. It wasn't about what school shoes we were wearing when we went back, and it wasn't about what bag we were wearing. She wanted us to have a fun holiday, and that was where her focus was going with her money. Whereas in my mind, it created this belief that actually I couldn't have what I wanted, or I had to wait for what I wanted. And this starts to play out. You'll have your own money stories that have went on. It might have been that you come from a really affluent background and your mum and dad had lots of money, but you might have created the belief that actually you're not good with money. It's always your mum and dad that are good with money. So that could leave its own mark on you. And we create all of these different stories. My grandma used to love telling me a story about when she was younger. She heard that her mum used to live in South Africa, and her dad was a really wealthy mine manager. Like, he had lots of money. They were really kind of rich and wealthy for back in those days. But what happened was that her granddad actually ended up dying over in South Africa, and her mum and her mum's mum had to come home, and they didn't have any money. So they went from being this rich family to suddenly not having anything, coming back over to England, having to get support, having to get help from family, and ultimately losing all that money. And then the same grandma then had to work really hard. She had a big family, and then her husband had an accident in the mine, which again meant that she had to be the main breadwinner. She really struggled for money. So this then taught me, even though these were stories from my grandma, these were things that her mum had went through, not me, not my mum, no effect on any of us from that point of view. But these stories my grandma used to tell me have triggered things in my life that I didn't even realize that was happening. I've then went on to manifest a relationship where my husband wasn't working and I had to be the breadwinner, and I had to be the one that all the weight of that money was on my shoulders. I've went and mimicked exactly what had happened for my grandparents, great grandparents even, without even realizing, but because subconsciously these stories get programmed into us. So from a young age, I had that image of like, you have to be self-sufficient. You don't want to be in a place where that money's just going to go. So suddenly I'd recreated this life that wasn't even mine to live. So once you start to understand these stories and you start to let them go, what you can start to do is change and transform your money story. So you've got to start to work out what has made you feel unworthy of abundance in the first place. Go back through your childhood memories, go back through all the things. And this is the thing, your memories are your version of events. They don't have to be real. They've left a mark on you, whatever. They've left an imprint on you, whether it's real, whether it's reality, whether it's what was meant to happen, it doesn't matter. You go back to what was the feeling you had about it. Think about what it was like at school. Think about what it was like growing up. Think about what those stories were like. Start to jot them all down and see what impact they have had on you. See what you need to release and let go of. See where you need to do some forgiveness work. Now, we do a lot of forgiveness work in the Awaken the Abundant You Elevated program, which is open now at early bird discount. So if you want to join that, make sure you do. But go through the list and see what you can cross off. See what you can let go of. See what you can release, and energetic release it. Energetically let yourself know that that is not true. Now we're going to be diving into the truth around beliefs, and we're going to be diving into so much more over the next 5 days. But just for day one, let's reflect a little bit. Let's see why you feel like you're not worthy of abundance. Let's see why you feel like you've been locked out of abundance, because most of us do feel that in some way, shape, or form. It could be mistakes that you've made around money. It could be guilt that you have around spending. Go through all these money stories, go through all these money triggers that you've got from the past, and just write them all down. Getting them out of you helps to see how unbelievable they are. So make a list today. That's your homework for today if you want to take part in this. But really make a list and just clear out all of this gunk, all of these old stories, all of these old beliefs, triggers, feelings of guilt, anything you have around money that you just want to let go of and you just want to get out on a piece of paper and actually see the reality of it. So please just journal these out, and I'll catch you for tomorrow where we dive deeper into this challenge, and let's go into attracting what you really do want. See you then. Bye.